Now, going back to Webster, what I see from this, and Hamid Gul agreed, former head of Pakistani intelligence and others, is it is a plan to break the country in 3 to 5 parts, 3, 4, 5. They have been caught the CIA trying to give radiation-type systems to al-Qaeda operatives that work for them to blame it on the government.
Right.
They're trying to break it all up. And so it's clearly deliberate. They keep blowing up military bases and then saying al-Qaeda tricked them. Give me a break, folks. As a pretext. So what is it? Cause revolution in the country that is now happening? Is this just old-fashioned destabilization?
Again, look at the ethnic breakdown. You have to see the ethnic origin of the troops who were killed, and often these are they're sometimes Pashtuns if they're part of these frontier militias. And the general idea is that if the Pashtuns get killed on the Pakistani side, they blame the Punjabis or the Sindhis for being part of the deal that allows the U.S. to go on doing these things. We've always got to remember the U.S. is there because of the post-9/11 ultimatum when Colin Powell and our dear friend Richard Armitage told the Pakistani government at that time, President Musharraf, they said, if you don't let us run wild over your territory and your airspace and your transport, we will bomb you back into the Stone Age. That's how the U.S. got there.
And instead, they've been playing the double game of infiltrating, taking over, doing this. And then now they're saying, the Pentagon's saying, they're afraid the Pakistanis are going to launch terror attacks on America, then the globalist stage attacks, then they have a pretext to attack them. It's just pure poking the dog, trying to get the reaction.
Right, and I think there's also an element of desperation because with the U.S. Basically leaving Iraq or largely leaving Iraq, there's always a residue that they keep behind. The idea may be, oh my God, we've got to hit Pakistan hard and fast and try to shatter the country because we may not be here, in a year or two. The other thing is, who's doing this stuff? Remember, the United States is not really run by Obama at this point, as far as I can see. There's this thing called the Principals Committee. That's Hillary Clinton, Leon Panetta. That's Holder, the Attorney General. We know his multiple crimes. There's this guy Donilon of the National Security Council, and our dear friend General Petraeus. And when I look at that attack on Pakistan, I say that has Petraeus written all over it. That's his signature style, right? Sneaky, betrayal, stab in the back, attack your ally, and then put on a hypocritical show, and so forth. And if
all right, stay there. I want to talk about where this goes in the final 5 with you, and then mention Europe. Here's the headlines. Europe on the brink. Eurozone looks to IMF for rescue. Oh, yes. Okay, your call's coming up. Also, there's incredible demonizations of the Tea Party going on right now. New York Times has linked it to tried to tie it to the KKK. Cities are auditing. It's just incredible. Colin Powell came out and demonized it, and I'm going to cover it tonight, and said the media needs to work basically with the government to lying to the American people. Just incredible. Finishing up with Webster Griffin Tarpley, historian and also economist. Briefly, because we really want to hear what you have to say about Europe. Where do you see this going? Because, I mean, I'm really starting to get concerned. The elites are insane. They are megalomaniacal. They have a plan, but it is sheer madness, and they're going to run into countries that aren't going to put up with it.
Yeah, well, that's what we're seeing with the Russian case, right? Today, President Medvedev doing something he didn't want to do, but Putin is making him do it, has opened up, inaugurated this rather impressive-looking phased array anti-missile radar at the western edge of the Russian Federation, looking into Europe, and they've got some short-range missile setup. So they're saying, you want to put your ABM, anti-ballistic missile systems, in Poland and Czechoslovakia and Romania and these places? Fine, we'll put missiles there so we can blow them up in the first 2 or 3 minutes. So this is actually very big stuff. The part in Europe, of course, is astronomically bigger than even things in the Middle East, because in Europe you've got nuclear NATO and nuclear Russia, and if these clash, then that's World War III by anybody's definition. So Russian resistance is stiffening. The Russians, of course, started late. It was a tragic mistake not to veto the Libyan resolution. That's Putin. Putin is trying to pick up the pieces after Medvedev made this mess. But that is happening. And on the European side, the problem with the Europeans is they needed to strike against these agencies, right? We're now hearing that France is about to be downgraded, right? Belgium has been downgraded, Portugal downgraded. All of these agencies, right? Fitch, Moody's.
Yeah, as if the agency can downgrade a nation state when it's the banksters that have maneuvered the nation state into this position. Now they're saying, we say you're in debt servitude, and the government say, okay. I mean, this is pathetic.
Yeah, that's the danger of a weak state. See, if you had a strong state, the strong state would say, guess what, ratings agencies? You're indicted. You're in jail. We're shutting you down. You're the tentacle of a foreign intelligence service. You're in the orbit of the U.S. intelligence community, because, of course, they are, and we're going to be investigating you. That's what General de Gaulle would have done, right? He would have had a tank parked outside the ratings agency very, very quickly, and that would have been the end of them. The other thing, of course, is if you're under attack through credit default swaps, and that's what's happening to Italy, for example, ban credit default swaps. Don't let the speculators use this engine, right? The credit default swap is a way to increase the striking power and the destructive power of whatever speculative money you're deciding to throw at a country. So this is it's an orchestrated, it's a conspiracy. What other word for it?
No, they're collapsing it finally into the IMF and World Bank and their private holders.
Right.
But one comment, though, Tarpley, and I respect your view and your intellect. You keep saying America, Anglo-American establishment. We ourselves are kept slaves of the 6 big mega banks. So when you keep saying America, 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 America is just another one of their holdings. We're just a giant engine or a coal box they use to fund their system.
But I tried to point out, we're talking about finance capital, right? We're talking about Wall Street and the City of London, and we're talking about their respective plantations. Now, if you don't want to be on their plantation, then you have to struggle, right? You have to do something to get out of that. And quite frankly, a mass movement, right? You've got to.
But bottom line, they're losing control, so they might start World War III.
Right, but the point is, we got some momentum with this Occupy Wall Street. I think that had some positive features. That's got to now.
All right, we'll have to have you back up, Webster. Glad you got back safe. Phone calls, tons of news straight ahead. Stay with us. If you believe in this information and want to support its viral spread, go to the InfoWars store at InfoWars.com. We've got the new G.I. Joe InfoWars T-shirts. We've got the incredible ProPure gravity-fed filters available at InfoWars.com in the store. We've got a new DVD, Scientists Under Attack, the Don't Tread on Me flag. We've got all sorts of different bumper stickers to help spread the rebellion virally. It's all there. Wristbands, citizen rule books in every order. Order online at InfoWars.com today. The water filters, the canteens. It's all there. InfoWars.com.